Right. Solarians.
Greetings, inhabitant of Andromeda. I'm a Solarian. I'd be pleased to tell you more about my species.
Tell me more.
Okay.
Solarians are considered among the brightest scientific minds of the Milky Way. We're known for our quick thinking, technological savvy, and intellectual powers of deduction.
Right. Tell me about your homeworld.
Where do you come from?
Solarians originate from a world known as Rakesh. It's a tropical planet covered with oceans and rainforests. As an amphibious species, we're at home in Rakesh's lush jungles, but with our technological advancements, we can adapt to nearly any environment. We look forward to studying the wonders of Andromeda and the rich diversity our galaxy has to offer.
That's the thing that I've just thought. And it's a problem with most sci-fi games is monobiome worlds. Admittedly, Mars is essentially a red sandy desert with some mountains. But okay, there's different levels and whatever. But if you look at the Earth, you've got ice at the poles, you've got desert, I should say, sandy deserts, kind of in the center. You've got rainforests, you've got temperate forests, you've got tundra, you've got all these different kind of areas. Whereas, it's jungle or ocean. That's it. That's your options. It's not how science works in general. Because the reason why Mars is predominantly dusty is because there's no room for life. So there is no desert. There's no atmosphere. There's no desert. So it's all desert. Sorry, that way around. It's all desert. Whereas if you can have life and if you can have water, the middle is going to be a lot hotter than the poles, or the equator, I should say, rather than the middle. The equator is going to be a lot hotter than the poles, in general, because the equator is going to be the point that is always closest to the sun, whereas the poles are going to, in general, not be as close to the sun, although you do have the issue with if an axis is tilted, then sometimes certain things are going to be closer or whatever. So you're going to have different biomes just because of having different temperatures. Right, history of Solarians. You break science.
What's Solarian history like?
Cooperating with the Asari, we were the second species in the Milky Way to help form a galactic government, the Citadel Council. From time to time, we also guided other species, such as the Krogan, to better channel their natural gifts towards worthy pursuits. It's our belief that the careful application of science and intellect is the key to improving the quality of life for all.
Okay, so I'm assuming...
It's been my pleasure. Rest assured, the people of Andromeda have nothing to fear from Solarians.
So, we're not going to have updated this since leaving. So this is all Mass Effect 2 knowledge. So maybe the reason they're talking about the Citadel with such high praise, and is the same reason that they've not talked about the genophage, which you'd think the Krogan would do, is basically not to foster continue any of the kind of negative feelings amongst people. But having said that, they're going to have that anyway. It's only been, for many of these people, it's going to have been minutes since they were in the Milky Way, so they're going to remember all of the stuff anyway.
I'm Jan Garson, founder of the initiative.
I've just looked at Solarian. Talk to the human.
I welcome you to the
Hello there. I'm a human being. If you'd like to know more about my people, just ask.
Why are you a human being rather than just a human, considering it like Turian, Asari, Krogan, Solarian? Human being! Why not just human? You're a human. Tell me more.
Okay.
Good to hear. Humanity is a diverse species. You may notice different skin colors and religious beliefs among our people. Yet we don't let those differences come between us. We rather celebrate our diversity rather than fight over it.
Two things. One, previous to the biome discussion, how come there is no real other differences? All Solarians are homogeneous. They're all exactly the same. the same kind of belief system, the same race, the same whatever. Where it's like, oh, humans, we have this thing. 2, come on. Come off it. We'd rather celebrate our diversity than fight over it. Really? Really? Go to Newcastle and look at Newcastle and Sunderland, Newcastle upon Tyne, and look at that. They're separated by a river and they hate each other. That's the only difference you need in some parts of the world. Oh, we don't let religious beliefs get in the way. We just had this discussion with Suvi, where she feels that she's kind of under pressure to justify her beliefs. When she mentioned, like, if it's brought up in a conversation, she talks about her beliefs. She has to justify herself. How is that not letting differences come between you, you pillock? And I only thought about that one. Like, the whole kind of celebrating diversity, that's never going to happen. I mean, in general, it'll be, I think people will stop caring at some point, or one hopes. But there will always be people who would rather fight over it, because they are different. I mean, look at various politicians who I shan't name. Predominantly of the past, but also some of the present. Who will point at other groups and say, they are different to us, it's all their fault. If you vote for me, I will get rid of them, and we will have a better, stronger country. It's an old political ploy which works in pretty much every culture. Oh, don't try and talk about philosophy or anything like that. Planescape does it better. Planescape does it brilliantly. This is just stupid fantasy thinking. It's never going to happen like this, where the entirety of humanity just stops and goes, you know what, we'd rather celebrate all of our diversity rather than have any more fighting to do with this. It's never gonna go away. And on that exceptionally optimistic note, let's hear what it says about Earth.
Where do you come from?
Humans come from a planet called Earth. It's a beautiful blue world with everything from oceans to jungles, snowy mountain peaks to deserts.
Exactly!
It's also an oasis of biological diversity. Scientists calculate Earth contains nearly 9 million unique animal and plant species.
Do we not have that figure for the other ones, or is that just a cool fact that we have at the moment? Because if that's the number at the moment, then what you're saying is that no more animal species are going to become extinct from now on. You optimistic idiots. Tell me about the history of Earth from the beginning. From the beginning, I want it all.
What's human history like?
Humanity is a young people compared to many of the other Milky Way races. We didn't discover spaceflight until much later. But what we lack in age, we make up for with enthusiasm and a pioneer spirit. We'd like to think we can teach our fellow travelers a few new tricks.
So what it means is that humanity is enthusiastic and thinks that despite these travelers having more experience, that humanity can teach them some new tricks and show them how it's done. Basically, humanity is now America. That's it. That's it. There's no grumpy, sarcastic, cynical guys who just hate everything and everyone, and have... Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm here for, isn't it? Just rant about Americans. Just...
I'm glad you stopped by. Next time you see a human, ask about ice cream. It's one of the many great things we bring to Andromeda.
Really? Really? Right.
Friendship and cooperation.
We bring survivability. We bring order and discipline and a military fighting force. We bring diplomacy. We bring science. We bring the most important of all, ice cream. Adaptability! Adaptability! So many biomes! So many... Just...
founder of the initiative.
I just want to go back to Planescape Torment, where the dialogue is actually intelligent and sensible.
Have a look around.
This is Ark Hyperion, one of several ships that made the long voyage from the Milky Way galaxy to Andromeda.
the only
The
one so far.
thousands of colonists aboard have come in peace, united by their dream of a better life in your beautiful galaxy. You need not fear their arrival. We are all citizens of the universe, eager to be your friend.
And cooperation. We're glad you
No.
visit.
Can we stop having these subtitles? Can we really just stop having those subtitles again? I'm trying to listen to these people. Oh, hello. Is that Andromeda? I assume it is. I can't hear them! Why have I got their subtitles? And why is their subtitles looping? I just want to...
They're happy to answer any questions you may have and eager to learn more about your own culture.
This game is slowly driving me mad.
This is an outpost for Milky Way colonists arriving in your galaxy. They come seeking a fresh start in Andromeda, yearning only for a land they can call home. If you encounter an outpost, feel free to drop by and say hello. Your new neighbors are eager to make friends.
Diversity of people.
Oh, great. So we've got humanity that are like Americans who just want new land that they can call their own home. Native. Moving on.
The Nexus is a
Liaison.
friendship and cooperation.
Pathfinder, I'm glad you could stop by. Pardon the dust while we set everything up.
What is this place?
What goes on here?
The Cultural Center is a place where new races we've met can visit and exchange ideas.
It's a bit small, isn't it?
They can learn more about the Milky Way species, while we foster an air of cooperation and understanding. We're just getting everything ready. Hopefully it won't be long before we have our first visitors.
It's a bit small, like, to bring us, like, even representatives of a species to discuss and share ideas. You'd surely, like... The whole idea of this room is just stupid. Everything it says is... Almost everything it says is stupid. It's just... Ice cream is the thing that humanity brings to Andromeda. That's the most important thing we provide to this whole thing. What are we even doing in this mission then if all we provide is ice cream? Just... Is that even edible for Turians? No. Where are we getting the milk from? There are just too many questions now. I've started. This whole thing. Just... Tell me about yourself.
How did you get this job?
I was a sociologist in the Milky Way. While there were plenty of cultures to study, the books on them had all been written. There was nothing new I could add. So when I heard about the initiative, I signed up right away. The idea of meeting new people, seeing how they've evolved, adapted to life's challenges, I couldn't resist.
So you're just going to read their books and... Oh, wait. Any info about the Ket?
Have you heard anything about the Ket?
Unfortunately, yes. Now, that's a species we won't be inviting here anytime soon. I'd hoped our encounters would be peaceful, but I suppose that was too much to ask.
Alright, thank you.
Thanks.
Of course, our hope is that you'll make friends in the cluster and send them our way. And when you have a
No.
second, check back with me on a favor I'd like to ask.
I don't make friends. Garson.
Hesitate to speak with one of
Or
our
you meant to be
friendly
garçon.
ambassadors.
Hello there, neighbor. I'm Gian Garson, the founder of the Andromeda Initiative.
Okay, Garson.
I thought you might like to hear more about our plans.
I'm going to take over your galaxy. I mean, no, delete that one. I didn't mean to say that.
Okay.
Great. If you're seeing this, it means our Pathfinders have done their job and made new friends in the galaxy. Welcome to the Nexus.
Friends,
But I want
yay.
to put your mind at ease. Seeing our arcs arrive in your neighborhood probably raised some concerns. I'm happy to address them.
Your intentions.
What are you planning to do in this galaxy?
Great question. I'd be worried about that too. I can assure you, we have no hostile intentions whatsoever. We're pilgrims who simply want to live in peace.
Oh,
We're eager
pilgrims.
to learn about new cultures, new ideas, and share our own with you. But we understand understand trust needs to be earned, no matter what galaxy you're in. And the initiative looks forward to doing just that.
I've kind of been joking about the whole kind of America thing and Americans expanding and wanting more land and heading out into the West, and now pilgrims. That went so well. Stop saying these kinds of things. One, they're not even pilgrims. They're not pilgrims. We're refugees. Let's be completely honest. We're refugees. You want to get that? You want to kind of have like a liberally kind of message coming out, like I think you seem to be. Refugees. We are refugees. Kind of leaving our galaxy. I mean, there it is. I mean, technically, if you want to say it, the original. I don't say the original, but the pilgrims that came to America on the Mayflower were refugees from political violence. Using the term pilgrims with the fact I've been making all these comments about America just makes that point. If I am calm. I am calm. Calmness. Why did you come here?
Why did you leave the Milky Way?
I get that question a lot. Many of us have a deep curiosity that needs to know what else is out there. Our own Milky Way is just one tiny speck in a universe full of mysteries. And speaking for myself, the thought of exploring those mysteries in Andromeda was a call to adventure I could not resist.
What? That's what caused... I was thinking the whole thing, and this is why I thought Mass Effect 3 makes sense. You know, you're fleeing the Reapers. It makes sense. So the whole reason you've come out here is to explore. Then why not send a couple of small ships, a couple of scout ships? You know, you you 600 years. You fly out in stasis. You go and explore, and you come back. Why have you brought so many different people just to explore? Families. Why families coming explore? My window's open. I hope no one can hear me complaining and shouting and screaming about this. This is just so... Why? None of this makes sense. The only logical thing the only logical conclusion from this is the whole reason we've come to Andromeda is to conquer it for the Citadel Council. And you're lying to the people who I'm going to bring here. Either that, or everyone involved in the initiative is stupid. I mean, especially hearing everything back there, none of it makes sense.
Thank you for taking the time to listen. On behalf of my fellow Milky Way travelers, we couldn't be more excited about what the future holds for all of us.
I mean, like, the Citadel, oh yes, peace and everything. The humans, oh yes, we have a diversity that we come together. Like, if you want to talk about a strength we bring, why not talk about diversity? The diversity and the adaptability that humans have. No, ice cream! Like, not mention the Genophage. Like, we are such a friendly group. We tried to kill off one of the 5 people here. It makes sense.
Welcome to the cultural exchange.